were you wrong for that?
For what?
For airing that?
I know
use that for your own monetary gain.
Because there's two pieces there.
Did you feel like that was a bad look for you, for your brand in that moment? Did he break bread with you?
I think a lot of people confuse having a name.
Wait, hold on. Did he break bread with you significantly for your standout performance at that moment?
No, but I didn't ask for that.
When people think Mel Ford, what do they think?
I think it evokes a different response depending on who you ask. I consistently think I have a lot of work to do in that department. So I'm doing what I know how to do. And I know how to podcast, and I know how to talk about things that I'm impassioned about. But it's still. That's not the brand. That's what you want the brand to be, and you're trying to. So I'm still in the growth process.
That's
so
a tricky thing, though.
It doesn't have like
people. Unfortunately, for better or worse, have their image of what your brand is.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Today was a really, really good Patreon episode. It was smooth throughout. I felt Young Berg was more of just an extra co-host as opposed to a guest. I think he fit in seamlessly today. Even though he had pissed off a lot of the guys because he was talking to Mel, and he was able to get Mel to speak on things that she normally doesn't speak on with the other guys. So Flip, Imani felt a certain kind of way about it. They let it be known. But I felt Berg was asking Flip very pertinent questions as far as his progression and his growth, and why would he stray away from what made him a household name to begin with. And that's a very, very tough question, because Flip and Melyssa are literally going through the exact same thing, and they're trying to change it at the exact same time. Melyssa doesn't want to be seen as a video vixen. She doesn't want to be seen as a quote-unquote hoe. She doesn't want to be seen as the sex symbol that she initially came off as. Flip doesn't want to be seen as a skit nigga. He doesn't want to be seen as the rambunctious nigga, the goofy nigga. First thing Berg said was, you're going to take off your shirt and act crazy. Flip doesn't want that moniker anymore. People will do whatever they feel they have to get into this space, knowing that that's not how they want to be perceived. When I started this channel, I didn't start this channel by being a Joe Budden channel. I was just making random shorts, telling random stories, and I was growing naturally that way. But I never made a long form video. So when I started making long form content, I was rapping, I was trying to put out my landscaping content, and then I just so happened to make a reaction video. This is when Roy and Maul got called Bare Minimum by Joe. I made a reactionary video and things took off from there. They don't want to be seen as what they were seen as. I didn't want to be seen as Joe Budden, but it took off. They didn't want to be seen as the skit nigga or the sex symbol, but it took off. And now that they're in a different space, they don't want to be seen as these things anymore. And they're trying to use the Joe Budden podcast to switch lanes. But unfortunately, this is the highest peak either one of y'all have been at, is on the Joe Budden podcast. I'm not saying all your notoriety came from it. I'm not saying you weren't shit prior to this. I'm just saying this is the most visible y'all have ever been seen. Ever. And yes, Melyssa was on music videos, and she's famous, but she hasn't had a consistent famous string of events like this, like just being on the JBP. Now, Berg was waking it up. What do you want to do, Flip? How are you going to stray away from what brought you here in the first place? Flip did a decent job of explaining himself. He told Melyssa straight to her face, you hate Superhead, but y'all are one and the same. Y'all are one and the same. How do you respond to things like that when people, or when somebody that has more money is corny because he's just being direct with it? But when you have bread like that, you start talking to people a different way. You don't sugarcoat shit. For what? For what? So this is what the world wants to know from y'all, so I'm just going to ask y'all directly. Flip said, I don't want to be disrespectful in my response to you because I like you. Flip, that right there is part of the issue. That right there is continuing why people still view you as a skit nigga. Criticism shouldn't be taken as you have to respond back you have to be vicious or malicious to a nigga because they critiqued you. No. Just hear what he says. If it applies, take what he said that applies and let the rest fly. Or give the response like you gave today. I think you did a phenomenal job trying to tell people this is what it is, this is what it was. We don't have to meet in the middle. I'm not trying to continue to have y'all as fans. I'm not. But then Berg kept going. He asked Imani, hey Imani, did you get paid from bolstering Flip's numbers? Nah, but we had... As soon as he said that, I couldn't hear anymore. Flip didn't even want him to answer because he already knew it was fucked up. And then they will backdoor and look at Joe like he's crazy when he does the exact same thing to them. This entertainment business is nasty. It's nasty. It's nasty. I don't want no parts of it. And unfortunately, because the channel's growing, more and more people are going to try to work with us. And everything that I'm speaking on, I would have to implement going forward. But I can't just do a video with you, dog. I can't just do a video with you unless he paid you prior to any of that shit happening and you felt you had to turn up because he paid you. That's a different story. But if somebody's telling me, oh, you'll get a good look if you come on this channel, or if we do a collab or anything of that sort, and we're not talking numbers or anything that would happen with the video, I don't want nothing to do with it. Because you never know what's going to happen. And a lot of these people will be like, well, you don't know how much money it took to produce this, or if I'm going to make any money, who's to say the views? That's why we go based off of what the video does. I don't want no money from y'all, nigga. None. Except until after you get paid from this video. I'll wait till the 21st or the 22nd from that YouTube check. It's cool. I get one too. I know when they come. I don't care if it's $12 for the video. I don't care. I want 6 or at least 4. I don't care. But too many people move with the basis of something might happen in the long run, or in Imani's eyes, Flip probably looked out for him financially at one point in time throughout their friendship. So Imani felt that he owed Flip instead of, I'm about to change your whole nap. Because what Imani did for Flip, and he doesn't realize this yet, which is why Flip doesn't want to speak on these Patreon numbers, Imani, in essence, opened up Patreon for Flip. I'm not saying Flip didn't have content on Patreon, but he wasn't pushing Patreon as much as he is currently. He saw what Negativity Highlighter did. Imani bolstered his numbers, and Flip has been feeding into Patreon ever since. Imani's never going to receive anything from Flip's Patreon, not a dime. And unfortunately, because he didn't work anything in doing the video prior to it blowing up, you can't go afterwards and ask, hey, nigga, that the video did well for you. I need some of that in. It would be like Cat Williams going up to Shannon Sharp and asking for more bread. They already agreed to what they agreed to. The video just happened to be the most watched interview ever. I can't help that because you already agreed to, or we already agreed to terms. There's no renegotiating after the video drop. So this entertainment sphere is just weird. It makes me not even want to partake in it. It makes me just want to make my reactionary videos and go on about my day. But I thought Berg woke it up. It would be dope. I hope they were paying attention to how Berg was addressing Mel, because he was getting her to speak on a lot of the topics that Joe would love for her to speak on. Mel finally is opening up to Joe, and I saw that on the Ian and Mark show yesterday. Just her being in a bikini. Yes, a lot of thirst traps are set with the bikini, especially Mel, because goddamn, she's bad. But this is the first time she's done that for Joe. I literally brought you over here to have you open up about that video vixen shit, whether you want to agree to it or not. And I know that's why he brought her over here, because we're still speaking on things from 2004 and 2005 pertaining to Melyssa. We don't speak on any of her recent actions. We don't speak on none of her recent actions. Everything is back from the past. I'm still trying to get all of the notoriety from 2004 Melyssa. So yes, this is a big deal. Her opening it up, quote unquote, finally. And I hope they were taking notes from Bird, because they can get way more of this Melyssa going forward if they change how they treat her. I get it. She's frustrated. She does a lot of stupid shit behind the scenes, but she's still there for a reason. You might as well fully exploit it. But I thought today was a very good episode. There's way more that we could touch base on. I just wanted to touch base on those 3 things real quick. I appreciate y'all as always. Like the video if y'all like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know what it is. See y'all a little later, man. We just gonna keep churning these things out.